Hello, welcome to my Capstone Symposium presentation. My name is Christine Nguyen, and the title of my poster is Tracking the Tide, Investigating Crab Biodiversity and Spawn Timing Shifts. I believe most of us would think of the delicacy of crabs as part of our consumption if I were to mention them, which makes sense as they are economically huge, part of a multi-billion-dollar fishing industry worldwide. But in the biological and environmental sense, they also play a crucial role in the marine food web while also contributing to nutrient recycling. Much of the existing literature suggests that crabs are particularly sensitive to pH and water temperature changes, both of which are changes changing for the worse due to climate change. Certainly, those conditions could lead to habitat destruction as well. From that, I examined the case for the Pacific Northwest, particularly in the Poverty Bay area. So my research question was, what are the changes in biodiversity and spawn timing of poverty-based crabs? To answer that, on set days 4 days a week at the Highline Mass Center Aquarium, where I interned at, I collected from their light trap, as you can see in figure 1, to identify and count the number of individuals of each species. I then collected this year's data to compare the aquarium's previous data last year. And for those who are interested to find a way to quantify biodiversity, I used the Simpson Biodiversity Index equation shown here. In figure 2, it shows a photo of an exciting day when the aquarium had the highest number of Dungeness crabs caught in one day, which was 240 that we had to individually hand count. Moving to my results, the first bullet point lists the names of the 5 identified species that I've used in my biodiversity graph in figure 3, which has shown to increase this year for 2023 in orange with higher values compared to 2022 in blue. However, these results may be biased due to differences in last year's identification expertise. For my results regarding spawn timing, looking at figure 4, there are two crab species that showed significant changes, which were the Dungeness and shore crabs. The blue color shows shore crabs with the darker blue representing this year's data. We can clearly see that this year we started seeing them early July as opposed to late July from last year. For the Dungeness in red, we actually observed the opposite, where we see last year's small orange bump in June compared to this year's first appearance in July. So in summary, shore crabs have been observed to spawn earlier, while for the Dungeness later. With these results, the Mass Center Aquarium site's data could be compiled with the other sites in the area by working with the PNW Crab Research Group for a more holistic picture of the crab population and patterns of distribution. Maintaining a biodiversity index could be useful for ecosystem-based management as well, also known as EBM. And I have a graphic in figure 5 showing its ecological and human links. Our observed shifts in spawn timing could also then be used to reduce commercial harvest during periods of intense spawning to sustain crab numbers and therefore the fishery. I'd like to thank my faculty advisor, John Horn, my site supervisor, Area Wohub, my partner, Simon, friends and family, and our capstone professor, Sean McDonald, for their continuous help and support throughout my research journey. Finally, thank you for listening to my symposium.